Hello friends and welcome to FutureVerse. Before starting this incredible journey, I have a small request for you. For God's sake, please subscribe to the channel right now. I am requesting you from the bottom of my heart. You have no idea how important your one like and one subscribe is for us. It gives me the power and motivation to work hard day and night to bring such informative videos for you. I hope you have a little humanity inside you, and you will like my video and subscribe to the channel. So let's go, hit the button, show your support, and let's head towards the future. Today we are not just talking about a car. We are talking about the resurrection of a soul that has been dormant for over 25 years. The automotive world is shifting beneath our feet. We see electric SUVs, autonomous pods, and massive touchscreens replacing the joy of driving. But in the middle of this technological storm, Honda has decided to reach back into its glorious past to save the future of the driver's car. They have dusted off a nameplate that defined the teenage dreams of the 80s and 90s. The Honda Prelude is back.
And this isn't just a concept anymore.
This is the 2026 Honda Prelude, a car that promises to be the bridge between the golden era of internal combustion and the electric horizon. To truly understand what this car means, and before we dive into the incredible specifications of the 2026 model, we have to start from zero. We have to go back to where it all began. The story starts in 1978. The world was different. Disco was dying, and Honda was known primarily for the Civic and the Accord. They wanted to create something more personal, something stylish. Enter the first-generation Prelude. It was based on the Accord, but it was lower, shorter, and arguably cooler. It famously featured a power moonroof as standard equipment, which was a huge deal at the time. It wasn't a speed demon, but it established the Prelude as a car for people who wanted to look good while driving. It was a gentleman's coupe, sophisticated and reliable. Then came the second generation in 1983, and this is where the Prelude really found its identity. This was the era of the pop-up headlights. The car sat incredibly low to the ground, thanks to a unique double wishbone suspension at the front. It was sleek, aerodynamic, and became known as the ultimate date car of the 1980s. If you drove a second-gen Prelude, you had taste. It was agile and light, and it introduced a level of handling prowess that front-wheel drive cars simply weren't supposed to have. But Honda wasn't done. In 1987, they launched the third generation, a car that looked very similar to the second but hid a revolutionary secret: mechanical four-wheel steering. This was science fiction technology on the road. The rear wheels would turn slightly in the opposite direction to the front wheels at low speeds for tight maneuvering, and in the same direction at high speeds for stability. It made the Prelude handle like it was on rails. Road and Track magazine famously tested it against high-end Porsches and Ferraris through a slalom course, and the humble Prelude beat them all. It cemented the Prelude's reputation not just as a pretty car, but as a technological marvel. The 90s brought the fourth generation in 1991, and it was a radical departure. The pop-up headlights were gone, replaced by a curvy, wide body that looked muscular and futuristic. Inside, it had a digital dashboard that stretched across the cabin, looking like something out of Star Trek. It was polarizing, but it offered powerful VTEC engines that screamed all the way to the red line. This was the Prelude getting serious about horsepower. Finally, we reached the fifth generation in 1997. Honda returned to the boxy, upright styling of the third generation, creating a handsome, sophisticated machine. It introduced the Type SH or super handling model, which featured the active torque transfer system, a precursor to modern torque vectoring. It could send power to the outside wheel in a corner to help the car turn. But sadly, the sports coupe market was dying. SUVs were taking over, and in 2001, Honda pulled the plug. The Prelude was dead. The curtain had fallen, and for 2.5 decades, enthusiasts begged for its return. Now fast forward to today. The year is 2026, the wait is over. The sixth generation Honda Prelude has arrived, and it is stunning. But it is not what everyone expected. It is not a screaming VTEC turbo monster, nor is it a heavy, soulless electric appliance. It is a hybrid. Specifically, it is a sports hybrid designed to prioritize the joy of driving over raw numbers. Let's start with the design, because in my opinion, this is one of the most beautiful cars Honda has designed in years. The engineers call the design concept glider, and you can see why. It looks like it is cutting through the air effortlessly. The front end is sharp and low, a nod to the low hoods of the early generations, but achieved now with modern pedestrian safety standards. There are no grille openings that are too large or fake vents. It is clean and mature. The headlights are piercing LED units connected by a light bar, giving it a robotic, futuristic face. The side profile is classic coupe. Long hood, sloping roofline, and a short rear deck. It sits on 19-inch Berlina black alloy wheels wrapped in wide 235/40R19 tires, which fill the arches perfectly. The rear features a full-width LED taillight bar that emphasizes the car's width, and in a classy touch, the Prelude script is written in a classic font on the trunk lid. It measures 178.4 inches in length and 74 inches in width, making it larger than a Toyota GR86 but slightly smaller than a Ford Mustang. It is the perfect size for a daily drivable sports car. But the real magic happens under the metal. You might look at the spec sheet and hesitate, but hear me out. The 2026 Prelude is powered by a 2.0-liter Atkinson cycle 4-cylinder engine paired with Honda's advanced 2-motor hybrid system. Together, they produce a combined 200 horsepower and a robust 232 pound-feet of torque. Now I know what you are thinking. Only 200 horsepower? In 2026? But numbers don't tell the whole story. This powertrain is not about drag racing. It's about response. The electric motors provide instant torque the moment you touch the pedal, filling in the gaps where a turbocharger would lag. To make this hybrid feel like a sports car, Honda has developed a system called Honda S Plus Shift. Since this hybrid system doesn't have a traditional transmission, it uses electric motors to drive the wheels directly. There are no gears to shift. However, Honda knows that car enthusiasts love the feeling of shifting, so the S Plus shift system simulates gear changes. It mimics the rev drop and the mechanical engagement of a traditional automatic or dual-clutch transmission. You can use the paddle shifters behind the steering wheel to downshift entering a corner, and the system will use regenerative braking to slow the car down and flare the engine revs, just like a real heel-and-toe downshift. It's digital wizardry, but early reports say it feels surprisingly engaging. The chassis is where the Prelude truly earns its sports car badge. This isn't just a Civic hybrid in a pretty dress. Honda has rated the parts bin of the legendary Civic Type R for this car. The 2026 Prelude uses a version of the Type R's dual-axis strut front suspension. This is a complex and expensive suspension design that separates the steering axis from the suspension damping, virtually eliminating torque steer and providing incredibly precise steering feedback. It also features a multi-link rear suspension and comes standard with an adaptive damper system. This means you can switch between comfort mode for your highway, commute and sport or GT mode for the canyons, and the suspension will firm up instantly. The brakes are also serious business. Massive 13.8-inch rotors up front clamped by Brembo, 4-piston aluminum calipers painted in a specific Prelude blue color. Step inside and the cabin feels like a cockpit. It is a 2+2 configuration, meaning the rear seats are best reserved for small children or grocery bags. But the front is spacious and airy. The visibility is fantastic, a trademark of Honda engineering. Thanks to thin pillars and a low cowl, the seats are heavily bolstered sports buckets, wrapped in leather with a perforated houndstooth pattern, a subtle retro nod to classic upholstery styles. The steering wheel is flat-bottomed and wrapped in leather with blue stitching, which is the signature accent color for the new Prelude. Technology-wise, it is fully modern. In front of the driver sits a 10.2-inch fully digital instrument cluster that can be customized to show power flow, G-forces, or navigation. In the center, there is a 9-inch high-definition touchscreen with Google built in. This means you have Google Maps, Google Assistant, and the Play Store integrated directly into the car, along with wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. The sound system is a premium Bose setup, specifically tuned for the Coupe's cabin acoustics. But unlike many modern cars that bury everything in screens, Honda has kept physical knobs and buttons for the climate control and volume. They understand that when you are driving a sports car, you don't want to be fumbling through menus to turn up the AC. So who is this car for? And how much will it cost? The 2026 Honda Prelude is positioned as a premium, mature sports coupe. It is not a raw track toy like the Civic Type R. And it is not an entry-level drift car like the GR86. It is a grand tourer. It is for the person who wants a car that looks exotic and handles beautifully but can also be driven to work every day in comfort while getting over 40 miles per gallon. In terms of pricing, official numbers are expected to be released closer to the launch in late 2025, but industry experts estimate the starting price will be around $38,000 to $42,000. This places it in a unique spot. It is more expensive than a Toyota GR86, but it offers more refinement, better technology, and a much more sophisticated hybrid powertrain. It undercuts luxury coupes from BMW and Audi while offering similar levels of style and likely better reliability. In conclusion, the 2026 Honda Prelude is a bold statement. In a world rushing towards full electrification, Honda has paused to give us one last love letter to the internal combustion engine, enhanced by the power of electricity. It respects its heritage by being innovative, just like the four-wheel steering of the 80s. The hybrid sports system of 2026 attempts to redefine how a car moves. It proves that you don't need 500 horsepower to have fun. You need a good chassis, great steering, and a connection between man and machine. The Prelude is back and the future looks beautiful. Thank you so much for watching this deep dive into the future of Honda. If you enjoyed this detailed script and want more content like this, please do not forget to like and subscribe. As I asked earlier, it truly means the world to us. Let me know in the comments, would you buy the new Prelude? Or do you miss the old VTEC engines? Until next time, stay safe and keep driving towards the future.